second half cruising against Leverkusen, and no need for a thriller against the Villa. And the next player seems to be the mood slayer. In the fantasy football race, have I been able to keep the pace? The good, the bad, and the ugly at Liverpool FC for game week number 11, brought to you by the LFC file. Roll the intro, Lucho. Welcome back, one and all, for the latest instalment of the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly at Liverpool FC podcast, brought to you by the LFC file and yours truly, Ben Green. Thanks very much for stopping by as usual. It's much appreciated. The message is, as I often say, remember to like, subscribe, press the notification bell so you know when the next episode is going to be available. And stay tuned until the end, because there's some interesting news on the fantasy football front, and also an update on the Movember campaign. So stay tuned. Without further ado, let's get the ball rolling with the good. And the good this week is, I have chosen without doubt, above the league situation, is the 4-0 win against Bayer Leverkusen at Anfield during the week. Excellent game. The first half was very sort of a little bit like cat and mouse, let's say, very cagey. And then the second half, Liverpool just absolutely blew away their opponents from Nord Rhine-Westfalen in Germany. Absolutely brilliant game. Maybe the scoreline flattered Liverpool a little bit at 4-0, but I think even 3-0 justly deserved. And we kind of exposed Leverkusen. I think a lot of Liverpool fans would have expected a tighter game, to be honest, but no, Liverpool seemed to have too much quality for them. A hat-trick from Lucho Diaz and a late header from Mr. Cody Gakpo was enough to give Liverpool the points and put them to the top of this 36-team Champions League table. So absolutely can't complain. Brilliant result. And I've got the LFC official site here. Liverpool 4, Bayer Leverkusen 0. Watch highlights and full 90 minutes. But very good. Really good performance. They go on to say Arne Slot's Reds chalked up a fourth successive win in the league phase, as Luis Diaz's clinical hat-trick was added to by Cody Gakpo's header against Xabi Alonso's visitors at Anfield. So yeah, really good game. Xabi Alonso in his post-match hinted that if you fall behind at Anfield, then it's very difficult to get back into the game. And he mentioned and referred to the game against Brighton the week before, where Liverpool fell behind and came back to win 2-0. Here you can see we've got Liverpool there top, leading Sporting and Monaco in third place, going all the way down there. You can see Bratislava and Red Star Belgrade in 36th and 35th place respectively. There you go. So a thoroughly enjoyable game, super deserved result, and special mention I would say for Curtis Jones as well, because he played an absolute stormer, as well of course did Mr. Diaz. And excellent performance all round. Thought Tsimikas done well as well at left back. He kept Frimpong in check for the whole game, as did Konate, who was up against Mr. Victor Boniface in the Leverkusen attack. So yeah, got to be proud to be a fan when you see nights like that. So well done the Reds. And that brings us swiftly on to the not bad. And the not bad this week, it's fairly obvious, isn't it? It's going to be the 2-0 win against Aston Villa at home on Saturday. Tricky game. Aston Villa are a decent side. That's why they're up in the mix at the moment. So we've got to be happy with that result. I think the team had to really play well, keep possession very well. Villa had a couple of chances, but weren't able to capitalise on those, fortunately. But a goal from Darwin Núñez after 20 minutes, and then a late Mo Salah one-on-one. Wrapped up the 2 points. I think that was in the 85th minute. So well done. And I've got Adam Bate here for Sky Sports. Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 0. Darwin Núñez and Mohamed Salah take Reds 5 points clear at the top of the table. Not really much to say. Up against tricky opposition. The low point, I would say, is Trent Alexander-Arnold going off injured after 20 minutes. So hopefully this is not too serious and he can recover over the international break, which is now upon us. We're at the top now. Man City lost. Arsenal drew 1-1. I was watching that yesterday. Terrible game. So we got Liverpool there on 28 points, 5 ahead of Man City on 23 and Chelsea on 19. So so far so good as we approach the tricky festive period. So let's see how things pan out over the coming weeks and months. But a lot to be excited again about, and that brings us on to the ugly this week, which I've got a clip here from the Echo. It's just something I saw a couple of days ago. We got Graham Souness's headline, well, the Echo's headline. Ian Doyle reporting and quoting Graham Souness, not buying the idea. Graham Souness makes major Liverpool claim over Arne Slot. Former Liverpool manager Graham Souness has defended the work of British coaches while making Arne Slot comparison. The report from Mr. Doyle, he goes on to say, former Liverpool boss Graham Souness has suggested a leading British coach could do just a good job at Anfield as Arne Slot. Slot has enjoyed the best start in club history for a new boss after the 4-0 Champions League win over Bayer Leverkusen on Tuesday evening, moved him to 14 wins from his first 16 games in all competitions. I get where Souness is coming from. I'm not sure I buy it though, to be honest. I think the reason why Liverpool went for Arne Slot is two things. For one, he's won a league title and he's won a cup as well, so he has won things. And I think secondly, his personality and the kind of team he's coming from, Feyenoord is another Port City, another very vocal following, very good knowledgeable following, and so he fits the club pretty well. As for English coaches, I mean, who is there? Graham Potter, someone I like actually, but he didn't do very well at Chelsea. Unfortunately, maybe he should have been given a bit more time. Could say that, but they struggled to get a win under him. Who else we got? Eddie Howe at Newcastle. Again, another good coach, but I mean, the problem is with the English coaches is they haven't won anything. And you've got the likes of Frank Lampard, who hasn't torn up any trees as a coach, and I think really maybe controversial what I'm about to say, but he's probably lived off his name as a player, to be honest, more than his achievements as a coach, because he hasn't achieved anything. So in terms of a track record, I don't see why they've earned anything, unfortunately. But I think it maybe highlights one thing. I don't know if you watched the Overlap podcast with Gary Neville, Jamie Carragher, Ian Wright, and Roy Keane, the last two of which have struck up a very nice relationship, which no one would have imagined beforehand. But anyway, that's another topic. Rafa Benitez was on there the other day, and he was asked what's the difference between the English game and, let's say, the Spanish game, and he made a point that it's because the Spanish players are more tactically aware, and maybe this is the same for the coaches for the time being. And he made the point that Gerrard was probably the most gifted technical player he'd managed or coached, let's say. Xabi Alonso was far better tactically. And this is, as I say, where we fall down, I think. And maybe a not so well-known player at the moment is going to come through, or more will come through and have a bit more tactical nous. But I think this is probably what's been lacking with the British coaches. So I wouldn't really agree with Mr. Souness. At the end of the day, Arne Slot is there on merit. And if there was a British manager with that sort of track record, having won the league and a cup and what have you, then he would probably be in the job. But the fact is, there isn't one. So that's kind of how it is. Arne Slot's had to start somewhere, and so have the English managers. So I think they need to prove themselves. On that bombshell, it brings us on to the Fantasy Premier League update for Game Week 11 for the world famous FC Aki and Saltfish Fantasy Premier League team. And here you can see I've got a total this week of 56. Not great, above the average again, but not brilliant, to be honest. Yeah, what can I say? Salah is back in the team, having got rid of Erling Haaland, who has been flattering to deceive. He's sort of saved me bacon, really, this week. There's not really been another good scorer. And Bremo and Raul got 5 apiece. Kelleher got 6, as he got a clean sheet for Liverpool. But yeah, not much else to write home about, unfortunately. So on the league situation for the Düsseldorf Super League, we've got here still hanging on to first place, just by 7 points. Merely Mortal's hot on the tail there after his haul of 62 points. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's a 2-horse race. Yeah, there's quite a lot of potential in this lot yet. So far, so good where the Düsseldorf Super League is concerned, and the League of Kings. I am second to Here We Go Still, who's had quite a good week this week. He's got 69 points against my 56, which leaves me on 586. So yes, some way behind, unfortunately. But still a healthy league over the Vultures, who have moved up into third place, and FC Bezenga have fallen. They've not done too well this week, actually. So yes, plenty to play for, and I have to be on my mettle next week. Yes. Oof. And before I wrap up, a quick update on the Movember sponsorship campaign for this year. As you can see, I've got 400 here from the target of 750. So not so bad. These things tend to run out of steam after the first week or so, but still a lot to do. I also have, I started a team with my employer, which I'm not going to reveal the name of, but anyway, you can see for the old day job here. We've reached the target of 750, actually at 760. So thank you to everyone who has donated to that one. There is still the personal one, which I would like to reach. So let's push on with that one. And please see your way to donate if you possibly can. Any amount is more than gratefully received. And if not, you can always just hold a little event or a few beers, a get together or something, just to raise some awareness around your friends and fam. So that would also be appreciated in addition or as an alternative to a monetary support. And on that note, I wrap it up there for this week, ladies and gents. Thank you very much for your attention. Remember, like, subscribe, press the notification bell so you know when the next issue is going to be out. And I will try and do a standalone FPL short this week if time allows, because the one last week seemed to be quite well received. So thank you for that as well. Until then, look after yourselves, look after one another, and see you next time. Peace. Your LFC file.